Okay, let's go. Let's go. Welcome back, everybody. We we're here to finish up this mural today. Probably not today, but we're here to finish this mural. So got to get my paint. Got to get my gloves. I have to get my brushes. I have to get everything that works. Let's go. Oh man, what an experience it's been. What an incredible experience it's been. All right, so I think most of what we're going to do is um I don't even know, everything looks good. Everything looks really good. Wow. I think I might have to get back up there for the blue. Yeah, for the blue paint. I'll have to use the mural. Yeah. I'm gonna have to use the catapult to get up to the top of. Yeah, we'll just be painting blue. That's fine. That's fine. We'll just be painting blue. Man, it probably would have been way better too. I'm sorry, man. I'm so sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. I'm really not actually sorry. Um, I need a bigger brush. This one works. I guess we just use this one. What's happening? How we going? Yeah. Got one person in here. I'm gonna have to leverage something for leverage. And open this up real quick. Okay. So we're just gonna load up on some paint. I actually have a few more days. Actually, I have a deadline in order to finish this mural. So we're gonna do our best to get these hours in, because that's what it really comes down to. Whenever I'm looking at it, it's based on how much time do I need for this, and that's what we're gonna base it on this week. So I'm a little late to this destination today, but it's okay because I'm trying to recoup from this weekend, and I'm just doing my best, and the best is all I got right now. So we are, yeah, like I said, we're recovering from this weekend. What an experience it has been, though. So welcome in, everybody. I'm Perky's Pocket. Hello, I'm Perky's Pocket, and today we're gonna recoup from this weekend. I guess we'll talk about what happened this weekend. It's all the way Monday. I didn't stream at all this weekend, but I guess these are choices that I'm making, and I guess they're either gonna be good or bad or ugly or legitimate. But I had a house party, and what's up, Aladdin, Alden? I can read, I promise. But yeah, so I had a house party, and I guess the best thing I can say for experiences like that is take pictures. Even if I'm not live streaming, I took a bunch of pictures. And so I ended up I ended up meeting a lot of new people for this volume 4 for my house party. But this wasn't actually my house party at this point. Well, I guess it was my house party, but it wasn't my, it was a birthday party. And I had a lot of fun, man. I'm a whole different person. I love experiences like that because not only do I get to be who I say I want to be, but I get to show people who I am. And it was actually pretty amazing because people are really, um, people are really ready and open up to themselves. Like people tell me stories about their life, what they do today. And, I thought that was, is this it? Oh no, this is it. So, yeah, I got to share a lot of that with people. I'm not really sure if you guys know about my house parties or what I do, but I'm a host for, I guess I call mature psychedelic experiences. So we get to paint and we talk, and when it comes, to the people that show up, it's really up to them what they want to do. My house is designed in that way for people to come in, sit, they can engage with other people, find out something about themselves that they never knew about themselves through talking, through engaging, just like anybody would at a new experience. So some people sat back, some people didn't engage with other people, and I saw that. And this is at, an experience I'm really common for, because I engage by talking to people. And through this talk, we can figure out what people actually want. Because sometimes I think this is still too low, still too high. Um, yeah, so most people that engage in my parties are college, and I enjoy that. I like to see what the new life of experiences are for people in that age group. So a lot of those people had showed up this weekend for a birthday party because ultimately I was hosting a birthday experience, and turned out I think there was two people who had same birthdays on the same day. So of it all, it was for one person. Her name is Verity, Vertiy. Wait, Verity. Yeah, I think I spelled it. And so, she was the guest of honor at this point, and she's also a local singer. So what she did was she organized everybody to sing. That's basically how she ran the experience for herself. Because once again, it's her party, and whatever and however she saw it, that's the way she pretty much got it, and she paid for the service. So I liked it because I like those type of experiences because I get engaged with what I'm doing, my artwork, the painting, allowing people to explore the house, just different things like that. So, and I don't want to take away from anybody else's experiences by over engaging people in things that I think is fun. And, so it turned into karaoke, some little spotlight shining on those who have, something to say. There's somebody that played and sung from a banjo, which I thought was absolutely amazing. I can't really engage with the names because I don't have everybody's name like just locked in yet because everybody's first time. And some people I had to tell my name like 50 times. I was like, wait, are you here for Verity or are you here for, the house party? Because some people know who I am. We've met again, and And so what happened is that I got to introduce myself, even twice, three times. And it didn't bother me at all, but I enjoyed it because, this is how we get used to each other. This is the first time you ever heard my name. It sounds foreign, it sounds different. And I really liked it because not only are these people, coming into a space they've never been before, but I'm helping them become comfortable. Um, you know, and that's what I enjoyed for this experience is comfortability. Everybody felt like they were supposed to be there, so they stayed longer. Those who didn't feel like they belonged, they left. I didn't get a lot of those people at all. I mean, I think I might have had two people that left, and because they had engaged in something prior to them being there, and so they didn't realize that their energy wasn't matching the place that they were in. And somebody else might have been taking their energy too, because I call them vampires as well. The one guy, he told me he came in, he wasn't there for me because he didn't know me. So he knew the DJ Silver. So he came in, talked to DJ Silver, and then he was like, "Is this your house?" And I was like, "Yeah, this is my established sanctuary." And he goes, "Oh man," he's super excited, his energy. Now he knows who I am because my name is, the host for the party. And so he goes, "I got a situation in the car and my partner does not want to get out of the car. They have been going through something, et cetera, et cetera." And I was like, "Well, it's okay. Like if you need to usher and go out there and handle that, before you come back in." He was like, "No, I think I'm just going to take my partner home and I'll come back." Okay. And I've heard this my entire life. Family members have done this. "Oh, I'll be right back. I'm just going to go to the store. I got to go handle something and I'll be back." And then they never show back up. And so that was the case for this person. And so I was really sad because, when you tell me that you want to engage or you want to do something, I'm expecting you to come back. I'm like, you know, a person whose expectation is high as hell because this is where you left me. And so he goes that he I asked him, well, what is what I did? When I first asked him if I don't know what I'm doing right there. I asked him if he would like me to come outside to talk to his partner. And so when I asked that, he didn't even really listen to what I was saying because one, yeah, I'm a stranger. But then again, you came to a place that you wanted to be, and somebody else is stopping you from being there. And I was like, you know what? That's fine. If I can't break through to this person, that means you're not going to break through to this person either. So what did he do? He took that person home and he never came back. So, experiences like that make me sad. And I'm just going to say it like that because everybody has a reason to be here. And I don't know what it is, but hopefully we can find that out through exploration, asking questions, and understanding each other as best as possible because this is all we got. This is all what we really have in our experience. So that was one experience. And I had somebody who came back from, a previous party that I engaged with them beforehand. So they stopped by and they were like, "Oh my gosh, like, so glad to see you." Um, and they invited their partner. And I thought that was awesome too. So then I got to meet their partner, gave them a tour, and it was awesome. It was like really awesome to see somebody else feel that comfortable about their partner. And I'll just say it out loud. Like a lot of people don't understand what partners are. Let's just say we go do a road trip, right? That partner is going to help you engage with the road, stay awake, stay active, proactive, and even help you, get to your destination safely. That's what your partner is supposed to be for. And so last time she came to, one of my gatherings, my parties, my house party, and it was by herself. I was cool with that. She was telling me everything about her partner prior to this, and how her life is, what it is that she's doing at this point. And I was a-okay with listening. Like I was so engaged with her that she brought her partner, and I was like, oh, okay, like this is cool. We took pictures prior, and um, it was a great experience for her. So she thought her partner would get the same experience, and guess what? The partner got the same experience. And so we didn't get a little sit down. We didn't get a little sit down like we did before, but I think what they understood was how, this placement in these parties, these engagements are, forever. Like this is what I want to showcase forever. So she ended up drawing on the wall. So the first thing she asked me is if I can. And I said, yes, absolutely. You can find markers over here. You can paint on any of the surfaces. You can paint on the refrigerator, the cabinets. You can just do whatever you feel like your energy can go to. And that's what I enjoyed. Because I mean, everybody has something to say. Everybody has something that they want to push out that they physically can't, like on paper or, even through the world. So this is the environment to do it. And once again, a lot of the stuff that they're putting up there is just their good info. So that's what I'm engaging with. They spent time. It wasn't like they were just like in a space that they didn't feel like they could get anything out of it. So they got to talk to more people. They got to engage in the drinks that we made. They got to be in spaces that they felt comfortable. They can talk in, and all of that and above. And so the painting that she had drawn was a vagina. And she was like, can I draw a vagina on the wall? And I was like, yeah, like if that's what you want to do, like go ahead and make that happen. So that's what she did. And then somebody came back later and told me, it was like, yo, somebody drew a vagina. They said it in another word, but it was like, yo, somebody drew that on your wall. And I was like, yeah, I know. I was like, it looks good too. Cause it was weird. Cause when she asked me first, I'm thinking like she wants to engage in like she wants somebody to see her. And I was like, if that's what you want to do, like if that's, you're going to pull out a picture of, this vagina, you're going to draw it on the wall. I'm thinking that's what she, something along the lines of, because that was the first thing she thought of. And I thought that was so cool. But, here or there, but experiences most of the people got when they engaged at the party. And we did karaoke. Everybody had to perform. That's basically, to keep the ambiance, keep the energy high, because a lot of people are sitting, they weren't expecting the show. They didn't know what to expect. So we offered more to help, keep the volume of the party, besides the music, keep the volume up as high as possible. So, and it was some really good stuff, man. Everybody got to perform. Like I said, I performed one of my songs. I performed Waking Up. And it was crazy because there's a younger generation now that's listening to new music. And so when we performed, this is the first time they heard it. And they told me who they thought I was through my music. And I said, well, I guess that's what I am. Like, and I thought I was pretty confident in singing. I was pretty confident and engaging. I could probably move a little bit more. There was enough space, but it's like my first time, performing. So I don't know what my body should look like. I do work out in the mirror, but sometimes like when you're in your head or you're trying to remember the song or you're trying to identify with people, I'm trying to look at people, it's like, it's all over the place. So, and I was floating the entire time. So I had a whole bag of mushrooms in my pocket. So I was all over the place, but I loved it because I was me. I was perfectly myself. I sang the whole entire song. People clapped. And, some of the women, just like I said, they're younger than me. They were like, yo, this dude is, he's something else. Like, I was just like, it's right there. So it was cool. It was real cool. I got to talk to a bunch of people. I took them outside. I talked about my artwork. I went into the neon nest where everything is like neon based. I painted everything neon. So the room just heightens the experiences for. But it was so cool because I was like, I want to do this again. And the people that helped out, DJ Silver, Destiny, and, Verity, they all helped out make this party what it was. And I mean, like, if I was to get like 10 stars, I'm gonna have to put that on my Instagram too. So go on my Instagram, you can see all of the pictures from the party. I'll be uploading more today from the party. You know, I got videos. Like I said, I didn't live stream it because it's too much on my phone to just live stream for hours and hours, pointless content. But I took pictures, I took video, you know, people drawing, I took video, you know, dancing, conversating, the whole entire nine. But that's on my Instagram at Perky's Pocket. You can find that on my Instagram. You know, if you wanna find out what the party looked like, the people that gathered, you know, everybody that, you know, that wanted to be there was there. So it was really cool. I'm not even painting anymore. I'm just like really talking because it was such a good event that I'm gonna have another one. And I was like, damn, I can't wait until next month, but I think I'm gonna have to wait until August to have my next party. You know, just to get some things together and yeah, to feel cool about, you know, what it is that we're gonna offer. Cause I think we got a working experience for everybody. Um, yeah, I think that's what it is. We got a working experience for everybody. A little bit for everybody. I think most of the people stayed outside because everybody engages in cannabis at this point, so everybody was smoking. I don't allow smoking inside the house because everybody doesn't smoke. So I don't want that smell to linger for too long. So we had additional, you know, spaces. I have a tent in the backyard, and that helped and allowed people, you know, to engage outside because that's where everybody wanted to be for a very long period of time. So, um, yeah, that's what we did. And let me see. I think I could have sold more art. I think I did that like 10 times over. Everybody that walked out of the door should have had a piece of artwork in their hand on everything. But um, yeah, yeah, that's what we're going to do. And like I said, I took a ton of pictures. Like, I took a ton of pictures. Like, yeah, I really did. And it's wild. So I'm going to tell you this, okay? The world as we know it is just an infinity sign. It's like a fractal experience. Like, we're moving through it, but it's still part of that infinity sign, right? So the person I'm throwing the party for is her birthday. Her name is Verity Amor. You can find her on Instagram as well. She's probably got a bunch of other websites, but Instagram is the main. So what happened was I met her two overtimes, like the last two. Actually, I think she's been to every one of my parties since the first one. And so she showed me a picture and she's like, this is my mom. You know, this is who, you know, I look like. This is who, you know, I get all my energy from. And I was like, wait, I was like, I think I know that person. And it was like four women in the picture. But I was like, I think I know this person. I was like, this person's face looks so freaking similar. I just don't know where. Okay. So we get to um we get to the party. She is Verity. She is upstairs getting dressed. She has a few people come upstairs to help her with her makeup and et cetera, et cetera. So then after a while, she said that she has somebody who's outside. So party's going on. There's people here. And so she goes from the back to the front and she's like, I think they're here. So I'm waiting at the door, you know, to introduce myself. And so they're still not there. And then she finally comes back and then she opens the door and she said, this is my mom. And I was like, for real? So Verity is, she's telling me who this person is, but I'm looking at this person's face. I'm like, yo, I know you from somewhere. I just cannot figure out. I was like, I know you. She was like, yeah, I know you too. And I know your brother. I was like, wait, what? So now I'm thinking all backwards. I'm just going complete. My brain is telling me all just go backwards. From the time I left from like college and no, it's not college. And like, where else have I known you from? Then I was like, you know what? Maybe from high school. I was like, well, damn. I was like, I think I seen your face in my high school graduation pictures. I think I went to school with you. So 20 some years later, I went to school with this woman, and that's where I know her from. Wow, crazy. I met her when I was in high school, and now I know her daughter. That is the most craziest experience. And I haven't seen this woman in 20 plus years. Never ran into her again before at any time. I mean, we could have been at the gas station or something, and it would have never crossed my mind. But the fact that I met her at this point, and I know now who her daughter is, and I was like, that's so crazy. And of course, we're all building a relationship because we're all working together. We're music inclined. We're about business. We're performers. And so all of that is just, I'm helping her produce her album. Like, all of these things are just all together. And I'm like, this is the most beautiful experience I've ever had. Like, when I say beauty, I mean, like, it's right there in your face, and it's the most amazing, like, feeling. Like, it just flushes your entire body of negativity. And it's like, wow, I have a new opportunity to make some good friends. I have a ton of energy that these people love to see. They're picking up the artwork, they're touching everything. And I'm just like, I'm just like standing there with this aura that's just beautiful. And I met some new people to see what that energy looks like when we mix and match that together. And that whole entire party was the utmost beautiful experience that I ever had. And people stayed over. I made beds, it had covers, blankets, people just, stayed. And that's what the experience I want to continue to have. And besides painting, I enjoy hosting, and that's what the business is going to be. I think I'm going to turn this opportunity into a full-blown hosting business at my house for as long as I can. And yeah, I think I didn't even count how many people was there at this point. I think the first party I was counting because, expectations was really high, but I was like, man, I don't need to count no more. I said, if they show up, they're meant to be here. If they engage in everything, that's something that we're going to use for the next party or for the next experience, and it was just so freaking, like, I was told I'm not allowed to say fun anymore. The word fun makes no sense to anybody. So I have to draw another word, but it was just unbelievable how many people were just out of the blue that I didn't know sung, that I didn't know could engage in this way, came out to be seen for at least 15 seconds, and or 15 minutes, whatever they figured it was going to be. Like I said, somebody played a banjo, and they had an audience, 2 people who, when you go and see them, you're not really sure because you don't know what their lifestyle is, but they sang a whole 3 songs with a banjo, and everybody enjoyed it. The demographics, once again, I'm not looking for him or her or it or them. I'm looking for everybody just to show up. If that's who you are, you showed up, and that's all that matters. That's it. It was a great time. My volume 4 house party. It was the best experience. Like I said, I took tons of pictures. I have videos. Last time I didn't really do that because, I'm still really different about taking pictures, like recording people, because it's like weird. Like, get that camera out of my face. Like, I think like the internet has done something to me when I'm watching other people like make comedy, or, they're doing something nice, but it's like you have to ask permission first before. It's kind of interesting. So I'm trying to make sure I still ask for permission, and everybody gets what they want, because nobody knows where I'm going to post the pictures. Like the night, somebody was talking about somebody's feet, and I took a picture of her foot. I took a picture of her feet, but she doesn't know where the picture is going to go, right? It's so weird, but I thought it was interesting because I'm going to add that to a clip on my Instagram. Like, not to judge anybody, but to show that we're all the same. We all have confidence, Like, she didn't wear shoes the whole entire night. She was outside, she was inside. So I have everybody's footprints. People didn't wear shoes. It was like such an eclectic feeling that I'm sitting here and I'm not even painting, because that's what the experience was. I was just observing the, like, everybody's great energy. And you may not even know what energy means at this point, and it's okay, because one day you will. You'll be like, what the heck was that? That's energy right there. And we all have it. It's dispersed through all types of waves, all types of frequencies, from our hair to the grass to the wind to the sounds. It's all dispersed through that way. You pick up those signals as you keep going. And it's all derived through what you want to experience. Because there's tons of sounds out there that I don't know of yet. And one day I will pick up that sound, and it'll be a part of my experience, and be like, hey, I didn't even think that that was going to be, and it turned into being that. And that's because I was waiting for it. And a lot of people, at these parties that I'm throwing, are waiting for experiences like that. They really, 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 really are like, yo, I want to go to this party and my mind be blown, and boom, I blew your entire mind, and you're going to go back home as a different person. I thought that was the craziest, wildest, most utmost, yeah, the greatest experience I've ever had. Yeah. Once again, volume 4. And we're going to keep doing this for as long as I can. And I might even turn it into another sort of businesses. I want to bake and I want to cook. Well, mostly I think I just want to bake and figure out um, how to perform alchemy. And through that, it will, add another desirable experience for people. People will come in and be like, yo, I want to taste this bread or this cookie, or whatever you created. That's what I want to create through these experiences, because I realize most of the time I go to venues, if there is something to drink or eat, people will buy it 100%. And once they get that experience, this is something that they're going to want to encourage themselves to do again, because that's something that they can't make themselves, so they have to come back to the source, which is alchemy. And you take that however you see it, but that's what it is. And I said, if I make anything, I think it'll be these type of recipes. Maybe I'll make a cookbook, maybe I'll just design something that, for events, you can source this is possible, because I know what I am and I know what I'm, and this will probably be the last of, my paintings. um because I think I want to get into making food. I want to encourage this type of idea. Now, once again, painting is always the best form of expression, but through food, I think I could discover something new as well. Um, and I have the time, I have all of the energy to do so. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Yep. Because I made it. Because that's my destiny. That's interesting. I say it like that too. That's what it is. That's my destiny. And sometimes you just got to go towards it. Sometimes it knocks on the door a few times and you don't answer. It's not a stranger. It's something that you're just not used to. And I told myself I'm going to be very open in my entire life. I'm just going to be the most open person. I do say no, because I do have boundaries and things that, is not acceptable. But, for all, I've had the utmost, and I'm telling you, I've had the best experiences in my life. I really have, because I showed up. Yep. I showed up. I sure did. And that makes me proud. Yep. I got to do this in my lifetime. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not talking about just the art. I'm talking about just being myself. You know, a lot of people judge me because they don't know me, and I was saying the same thing too. Like nobody knows who I really am unless they, spend time to get to know me. But then in the end of the day, like when I close that door, I go to sleep, and you have to go in a separate direction. You don't really know who I am. You just know what you remember, and even your memories are going to be false at some point in time because you'd be like, I don't know what your name was, and I'm like, it's Perky's Pocket, and you'll have to remember me all over again, what it was that you started with. Yep. And I thought that was so cool because a bunch of people are like that came to the parties before was like, yo, I can't wait to do that. I can't wait to do this and show how you made it like this or etc. And I'm just like, it's amazing. Like I get that opportunity in my lifetime just to be myself. I'm weird because I do things differently than everybody else. Why did this peel off? I'm the weirdest person you probably could meet in life because you don't know who I am. So you judge me from that and it makes you uncomfortable you know, until you say otherwise. Yep. Yep. Whew. Mackinson. Interesting. Yeah, so yeah, that's what we are. Smells like dog food though. Kitty litter. Some base form of corn or something. Some type of feed. Anyway, I think I got most of that up there. Supposed to spray paint that, but I swear it's always gonna be the last thing I do is spray paint. And I want to say I want to use the airbrush, but airbrush is a pain in my butt. Supposed to use white. Some red still. Yep. Wow. I guess me explaining that up there is once again, YouTube cannot be my last form because YouTube be giving me yeah, yeah, YouTube just be giving me the because there's no way, just like I said, there's no way I have 500 people, and I'm not complaining, but I gotta do something to get these numbers, and I'm missing something, and I'm not sure what it is. Oh, not really sure what the heck I'm missing. I'm not. Whatever. It doesn't matter. just like I said, this will probably be my last. Yeah, this will probably be my last live stream or anything else, I guess, at this point, because I'm not even really pushing anybody to my YouTube channel. I'm just not. I don't think I'm burnt out or anything like that. Just it doesn't really bring me anything that, even my sales from my website doesn't bring me that clarity that I need. So, and it's like, oh well, how do you post? How do you, all of this stuff is too much. It doesn't give me enough to be like, yo, you should keep doing this. It just gives me like I'm entertaining some random people at random times, and like I said, for me, that's not healthy. It feels like I'm all over the place. I don't want to be all over the place. Mm-mm. No. Why would I want to be all over the place? And that's what YouTube has me for. Because I can't find my niche in between all of everything that I've been doing. Just like I said, I'm hosting freaking parties. Yeah. So we're either gonna stick to that or believe that that is, yeah, or believe that that is where we're supposed to be. And we'll just keep doing that. Yeah. Like I said, I don't make videos at this point, and I think I've gone as far as I could. Yeah, we're trying to dial in on that. Do YouTube, stream, post pictures. Like some people just, just go to they just go to the source, and I'm still trying to figure out what the source looks like besides myself. Because I tried to edit another video, and I was like, yo, I don't know who this person is, but I wouldn't want to buy shoes from them only because the video made me feel weird. It made me feel like I don't know who the hell I'm talking to when it comes to my audience. So, yeah. So we're gonna have to switch up and do something totally different, or do nothing at all that consists of, yeah. Because I know there's other ways to sell. I know there's other ways to communicate. Like I said, I'm consistently doing this, but I'm not getting feedback. So I'm either giving too much, or the reference and what I'm showing is not what people want to watch. So yeah, this will probably be my last live upload. I was going to live stream the. I was going to live stream the house party, but I was like, for what? So 6 people can watch, 20 people, 30 people do what they enjoy. That's stupid. You just need to join. Yep. You just need to join and come and get that. Yep. No more of figuring out, wasting my energy. My phone be dying because I'd be live streaming for hours of content that nobody's watching. I'm good. I'm so good. If I invite you to my house, trust me, you'll get more out of that live stream than me live streaming some random stuff. Yeah, no more of that. So, like I said, I knew it was gonna come back different. I knew whatever it is that I focused on, I could do that, and yeah, that's pretty much what we're gonna do. Like I said, I had a ton of people show up. I mean, ton of people show up, and the only thing I could think about was entertaining. I wasn't thinking about live streaming. Let me get this. Let me do this. I mean, I was focused, but yeah, I just didn't get that for content. I just didn't get that. So, and if I don't understand it, then I'm not going to continue to force it into an avenue that does nothing for me. Views and all, none of that stuff matters. I don't care about views. I don't think I've ever cared about how many views. I just thought I was, doing something that made sense, and it honestly, it doesn't make sense to me anymore. So I'm not even pushing this this YouTube algorithm and all this algorithm shit. Like, we either gonna have fun and we're gonna figure out how we had fun so we can continue to share that. Yeah, that's really it. Yep, 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 yep. So I appreciate you guys watching, appreciate you guys subscribing, appreciate all of, the little tidbits of things that you guys add for, for this channel. Like I said, you can always go back and grab something that you've seen on my channel, make it, make something new. Obviously, making the same thing I made doesn't make any sense, but you're gonna figure this out the easy way or the hard way, and that's what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be. Yeah, the next couple of months I'll be traveling and stuff, so I'll have a lot to do for myself, and yeah. Oh, this feels like a farewell. That's what it feels like. Yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like a farewell to greatness. I'm just gonna pass my greatness on to another avenue. Like I said, YouTube is different. I don't understand it. I don't understand the people. I don't understand why. So if I can't understand, I probably can't stay for long. And I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly okay with that. Somebody told me they're like, oh, they got like 40,000 subscribers. I'm like, I don't understand none of this stuff. So just like I said, if I can't understand it, then I can't be a part of it. No. And I'm not gonna force or hurt myself anymore, because I really hurt my mind trying to figure out this algorithm and all this other. I don't care about none of that stuff, man. I really don't. I only cared about it because everybody else cared about it. They made stories about it, and I hopped on a bandwagon. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be awesome. I figured it out. I know what the algorithm is and all the extra shit. I really don't care. I don't. I can't care about something that has nothing of value to me. And just like I said, if this is about money and time, yeah, I'm gonna stop wasting both of that, and I'm just gonna go to the source, and we'll figure it out from there. Yep. Yep. I think I enjoy spending money, but spending time doing stuff that I don't really understand, nope. Not even gonna be with it no more. No. I think that's what every relationship in life is. If you don't find value, not saying that there isn't, but if you don't find value in it, you gotta move on. Yep. Yep. You staying stuck in one place thinking that the situation is gonna change, that's insanity. And just like I said, I won't continue to do stuff like that, because that sanity keeps you locked in rather than you exploring other avenues of your existence. Yeah. And I refuse to be stuck in some paradox that I made for myself that no longer belongs. Like if I was still doing kid stuff, they'd be like, all right, well, that's cool. Like, but do you do adult stuff? And I'm like, no, I don't do adult stuff at all, because adult stuff is scary, or whatever that premise would be for you. And I'm telling myself, like, I can do whatever I want in this lifetime, whenever I want to, and I can engage with whoever I choose to for however long and for why. And what am I going to get out from it? Because that's the question. What are you going to get from it? Are you going to get nothing from it? Because it's getting something from you. I don't want to do that no more. Yeah, I'm giving myself false narratives. Yeah, I don't have to. Yeah, I don't have to do none of that stuff. because I made it. I got up there and told them people I made 22 songs. It felt so good sharing that with people. And I'm not a quiet person, but it felt so good to tell people that they could do it too. Yep. If it feels good, if it feels like it's worth it, then that's where you're going to stay. That's where you're going to be at. That's where you're going to live at. That's where they're going to find you. That's who you say you're going to be. And I really enjoyed making music. I said I wanted to make music videos. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make some music videos. At least I can categorize what it is that I've been doing for the last 8 months of my life. And it's in this form. It looks like this. Now, wherever it goes, that's really up to me. If I make it a Patreon thing, you know, I'm cool with that too. If it's Patreon and it doesn't belong on YouTube, then that's what we're going to do. Because I see a lot of people trying to figure out how to make the most out of, you know, everything. And there's multiple sources, so you just got to find out which one belongs to, which one belongs to you. And I also said too that my phone has phone numbers in of people who say that they want to hang out, they want to go do stuff. And we're going to start deleting y'all too. I had a family member, I thought this was really cool. A family member who came into town and they told me they were going to come see me. The first night that they contacted me, they said they were going to come see me. And the second night that they said they were going to contact me, you know, when they're on the way, I waited for that. And then the third time, I was like, you know what? I'm not even waiting for their call because they're not coming. And it's okay. It really is. It's okay that people don't show up. As I say it all the time, like, you are what you say you are, and what you want to be is where you're at right now. You know, that's it. I can't argue with none of that stuff no more, because people are going to continue to be people. No matter what it is that I do, people are going to always be people. You know, it makes me mad that if they don't want to be there, why are they still hanging out? You know? Yeah. Why do I still have people on my phone that don't call me, don't want to hang out, don't want anything to do with me? I might have to make that black again. Yeah, I went from being happy to being real serious for like 2 seconds too long. But where's my other marker? Oh, Omizu, good morning. How you doing? Wait, did you get my update? So yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think that's exactly the clear, because everybody kept telling me that they enjoyed the party. And I was like, damn. I said after the party on Saturday, you know, it didn't come into an end till Sunday, but you know, to each their own. Everybody, you know, who wanted to stay longer stayed. They actually stayed. I was like, wait, what? Like, you don't want to go home? And they're like, no, I want to stay here. Can I find a place, you know, to sleep? And I was like, I have plenty of space to sleep. Just stay tonight. We'll cook breakfast in the morning, you know, we'll talk, you know. It's not just an entertainment and then go home, because, you know, you're still visualizing, you're still in the moment. And sometimes people need more of that. And they actually stayed at my house. And I was like, whoa. Like, I was like, I'm not going to charge anybody, obviously, but it made me feel real good that the space that I'm creating is so needed. Is so needed right now in this moment in our experiences. People want to be in places that give them comfort. Comfortability is everything. I don't care who you are. If you're not comfortable, you're not going to stay long. Or if you're trapped, you're going to always think about where you could be at, because you're trapped and you want to be somewhere that makes you feel comfortable. And I did that. My 4th house party, I did that. like I said, I didn't live stream it, but I recorded most of it. Most of it is recorded, and I'm gonna chop it up, put it online. You know, then people can feed off of that. Because just like I said, I'm not gonna record for 12 hours and be like, I'm glad everybody had a good time. But all of the key parts are, you know, are through the clipping and stuff like that. And I get that. Because I ain't about to sit here through 12 hours of freaking image of nothing trying to get the best moment. You know, like I'm just gonna cut to the best moments, and that's what people are gonna view, and they're gonna visualize that. And so that's what, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. So like I said, I enjoyed all of, you know, I enjoyed all of what happened. It was, I mean, there was a ton of stuff, nothing crazy, nothing. It was just like what people wanted to do during, you know, was so healthy that I was like, yo, we gotta do that again. So we had karaoke. We had karaoke. I've never had karaoke at my house. And I myself, Verity's friend, whose birthday was the same day, he performed like 3 songs. There's 2 people. This woman, she performed on a banjo, and I was like, what? And never heard it. And she encouraged other people to, you know, seek out. Obviously, you know, it's just a thought, but you know, other people to seek out and see if the banjo might be a part of their experience. You know, I just thought it was so amazing that I offered this in my house. And it was like, yo, I'm coming back to the next one. I have to. Volume 5, like they have to come. That's what they're telling me already. And once I put more photos, it's gonna be like 40 people. And like I said, we were trying to cap it to be like, yo, 9 o'clock is the last time we're offering more people to come in, you know, because it gets crowded and it's overwhelming. We're all like, you know, in the moment. So I'm still trying to host, but everybody has gone through the hosting process, you know, seeing what's available, and they're just, you know, ready to relax. I'm not going to get up and do that 60 times, you know, because I really did. And I was like, yo, I'm like losing my wherever I'm at this point, because I didn't drink enough and I had a pocket full of mushrooms. I was like, no, I can't host no more. I'm tired. Like my brain's like, if you don't sit down, my heart's like, we're cool, but I really want you to just sit down for like 20 minutes. Because I stood up the whole entire night until I got comfortable, because everybody started doing the karaoke. I got comfortable. I'm sitting back on the couch. Like, it was so crazy. It felt so good to be in there. Like in my own house, it felt so good to be somewhere else. And like, I know this is my house, but it felt so good to be somewhere else. Yeah, man, it felt so good. It really did. It felt so good. And so many people just, they were absolutely there. I mean, like I said, you know, there was like little cliques and stuff. Everybody was, you know, in their own world. But I was like, if this is what people want, this simple, organized, this is what people want. Like they'll come and stay for hours, like hours. We started at 6, and I don't even know what time we ended, because nobody, like, I mean, there was like 4 people who did not go home. And I was like, all right, well, I got pillows, I got, you know, whatever you say you need, you know, if this is what, you know, if this is what you're looking for. And you said you did not? Oh no. Wait, what did I, I'm not all over the place, but I wasn't sure what, I'm not sure what we were saying. I'm not sure. Yeah, it was really good though. Like I said, I was told I can't say fun. I can't say that anything is fun anymore. Fun means too many things and not enough of a specific. So I can't say fun anymore. But I will definitely tell you that if you have a number of people that show up, it's not because they're having fun, it's because they know that they belong. They belong in that space, and doing whatever is whatever they're doing. It could be laser tag, it could be playing leapfrog or whatever. I don't know. It could be whatever. And it's not fun anymore. It's like a dream, an organized like dreamscape or something. Like I said, I don't know how to explain it. I was just told it wasn't fun. The party wasn't fun because there was too many things that surpassed fun. That's what I was told. And yeah. And just like I said, I mean, people were painting, but they were also drawing. They were also feeling what their energy. And when I say energy, like a lot of people still don't even understand what the meaning of energy is. Like this body that I have is crazy. I'm gonna explain this. This body that I have, energy until what? Until I figure out what to do with it. So I can stand here, my arms down, right? My body's looking to reach out in some type of way. So I'm talking. I'm using the best way to tell you I'm wanting to do something through my words. And until my body starts working, then I can move and I can paint and I can agree, pick up something that's heavy or light. But this is what our body wants to do continuously, is stretch out beyond this encapsulated experience, because we have a soul. Our soul is what wants to reach out, wants to use our body to reach out, and in different ways in order to get that feeling. And yeah, it's absolutely incredible because I made it. Yeah. Because I made something possible with just my words. I said I'm gonna host a party, and I couldn't even, like I said, I couldn't even describe how the party was because everybody got something different. They got something that, oh my gosh, they ripped all of the paint off too. They got something that they weren't expecting. And I can't even apologize for that. I can't apologize for giving them something that they weren't expecting. Oh, there were so many women there too. Oh my gosh, there's so many baddies. They all came dressed exactly the way that they wanted to be seen, respected. Yeah, because that's what this party was about. I mean, I was feeling a few of them, but some of them are just not in my thought process. Some of them are not in, because I was asking questions to some of them, and they had no fucking idea what I was talking about. And I was like, what's your life force? Like, what are you giving your energy to right now, right? So I'm thinking forward. She's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So then I was like, well, what are you doing in school? And then she goes, oh, I'm doing this, 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 and this. And I was like, well, what does that mean to you? Like, is that a career? Like, what is that? It's just a name that you're giving it, but like, they don't know. They don't have a clue. And even just like I said, I expressed that, like, they're just going to school. They're just living. They're just doing whatever, which makes sense, but there's no purpose behind it. They're only driven by the fact that they got to make money and they have to go somewhere in order to do something else somewhere in the future. But right now, they have no idea. So we don't connect. And I understood that. 100%. I understood that we do not connect. So once again, you got to test the waters and see what's available. Because if you can't connect with them, you're almost going to get nothing out of that situation for a very long time. And I had asked somebody too. I had asked them, why did you bring this person to this party? Because it seemed like they were entertaining this person. And that's what I got. I was like, oh, well, I didn't want to come alone, so I just bought this person. And I was like, don't bring baggage to situations where you're really trying to get something out of it, because easily that person could have picked up and met somebody else at the party, could have went home with them, could have engaged with them, rather than watching somebody, do nothing. Because that's what they did for a very long time. They just did nothing. And I was like, well, why are they here? Why? And even that person being there could have picked up somebody, but they didn't. So it's totally up to everybody to figure that out. I'm trying to be coy with what I'm saying, but yeah, it was definitely just that. It was everything that I wanted, for myself, because I got to get something out of it. Because once again, you got to ask yourself, well, what do you want? Okay, you're here, but what do you want? And so I was asking the same thing, like, what does anybody else want when they're here? They don't know. So I give them options and then see what they do. What the options? I gave two women, I gave them empanadas, right? I thought this was the craziest thing because I did this before. So I asked them if they were hungry, and they were like, yeah. They got up, they followed me to the kitchen, and I said, well, I didn't realize how much food wasn't left. But then I came back and was like, hey, I found there's empanadas, that were, in the refrigerator. You can have these. And obviously it's from the party, but somebody had put them in the refrigerator so they wouldn't go bad. So I brought them the empanadas, and they just looked at me like I had 3 heads. And so I wasn't sure if I should explain what an empanada was or just give it to them. And that's what I did. I just gave it to them. Did they eat the empanadas? I can't tell you that. That's for another story. But it's interesting because, just like I said, I don't know what these people want, but I know one of them said that they wanted to be the other person's manager, and they said it out loud. I was like, well, okay, well, what do you want to manage? And they were like, I want to manage her as a singer. And I was like, oh, for real? Like, she's saying it, the other person is not saying no. So I'm guessing they're somewhere in the long lines of the distance agreeing. And she sat there and watched this person paint the entire time. So I go, are you going to paint? And she goes, no, I don't know how to paint. I don't think I should be painting. And so automatically I realized that she's a non-playing character. She can manage whatever she says she wants. But she's not a playing character. She want to watch everybody else do something because she doesn't want to use her energy, and she doesn't have it. Right now, she doesn't have it. But just like I said, I'm watching all of these things take place because this is my reality. And whatever I say goes. That's the benefit of it. Hold on, let me see if anybody. You said I did not see your update. What update? What update are we talking about? I'm sorry. I'm just like, I'm talking, but I might have got lost in what I had said earlier about an update. You talk about on my Instagram? An update on my Instagram? I haven't put any reels up there, so everything is based on my stories. I have to edit. Everything is in my draft on my Instagram, so I can go back and, that makes sense. Yeah, so my bad if you're on my Instagram right now and it doesn't say like I updated anything about the party as my reels, because I'm still forming bits and pieces of. That's brown too. Yeah, so sorry about that. I think when I get back home, I'm gonna get to that, and I'm gonna update it, and I'm just gonna post reels. I'm gonna post. And then everybody, I'm pretty sure everybody will just share it between themselves and, because it's just picture of, themselves. So, yeah. So if that's what you're looking for, I apologize for not having that available. But I know it's been a couple days, but I have been high as 2 kites for 2 days straight. And today's my day off. I'm not supposed to be doing anything, but I need until Friday to finish this. So that's what we're basically trying to get through. is getting through this experience first. So yeah. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I thought of very interesting ways to engage with everybody. Um, and I had the most fun doing it. I really did. Yeah. I mean, how I set these parties up is absolutely amazing because I now have a working team. We work as a fucking team. Yo, shout out to Destiny, shout out to DJ Silver, shout out to Verity, and yeah, shout out to myself too because I did really well. You know, I'm not a nervous person, but sometimes I'll get anxiety and tell myself, no, don't do it. It's too much, and then I realize like it's not too much. You just need support. You need other people who are going to do it before. Because I saw from somebody else. Somebody else had asked me to perform before them, and I was like, why am I going to take your limelight? You go perform when when I'm ready. I'll perform, and that's what happened. You know, I just gave him some encouragement because he asked somebody else. And the other dude was like, nah, bro, I already performed. Like, well, I'm not getting back up there again. Like, there's no need. Like, matter of fact, I think he was the first person to perform too. And it just had to give everybody a little something to work with, and that's what they did. They worked with something that they could, and that's how they made the experience. Yep, yep, yep. And that's what we're gonna keep on doing. Somebody did spoken word. Her words were, I don't know what she got going on because I just talked about her earlier, and she was talking about her poetry is a little dark and stuff like that. But I was like, it's dark because you got to move past it. You got to say it out loud because if she's not a vampire or something like that, nobody's going to be hurt from it. They're just going to take what they can hear and leave the rest because it's not meant to take. It's just meant to be heard, because everybody wants to be heard, and that's what I'm getting. She was trying to use this pedestal to be heard at that point because she was like two things. She said she wanted to draw a vagina on the walls in my house, and I was like, yes, you can. And then she said I wanted to read something that was dark. So she's going through things in her body and in her energy, and she's like, yo, I gotta release this so I can move on. And I was like, go ahead. And I didn't. All I saw was it was just a vagina or a picture or an expression or a bound of words that you can either agree with or disagree with, and keep it moving. Because it's not your energy; it's her energy. You know. And I thought that was the greatest experience that I could offer these beings, these people who just want to be heard and felt and hugged and told that they're doing a good job, and they just want somebody to hear them so they can be heard, so the other people can be seen and heard. And that's what I did. That's what I helped do. Yep. Yep. Everybody's like, oh yeah, I want you to go to my YouTube channel, listen to my YouTube songs, and listen to this and listen to this. And I was like, yeah, we may not be it, but if we are listening, then we know that you exist in this, where you're wanting that. And here's your start. Just keep doing that, because if that's what you're trying to get out, because I performed. I had no problem performing. Do I want to perform every single time? Probably. But do I need to be heard every single time? Probably not. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. And it's really up to me to make that decision when I get there. And Saturday I did. I performed. I had, oh my gosh, yo, people are like, they thought I was like, I don't know. Uh, they didn't give me like, oh, you sound like this person. They just told me what I made them feel like when they heard my song. And I was like, well, because I'm a sexual being. Like, that's what I was talking about in my song, waking up. Like, what do I want to do when I wake up? Like I want to have that experience with whoever. And that's what the song was. And they got it. They absolutely got it. Yep. They absolutely got every bit of it. And I thought that was so cool. You know, it's not demonic or it's not like R. Kelly type shit, you know, but it's worth listening to because I'm expressing how I feel. And, you know, if I told you how I feel, it'd be like, oh, you know, maybe you're going to have to talk to somebody else about that, you know, because not everybody's accepting. But I sung the song thinking that I can just be heard. I could just be heard. You said no worries, broski? Oh, Mizu. Yeah. Um, I think I want like something else in here. Sorry, I'm just did I paint in my pocket? Okay. I gotta trim my beard. It is right now. How the heck did I get paint all over my phone? Uh, y'all want to see some pictures? Hold on. You want to see some pictures from the party? Oops. No, go back, go back, go back. I'll show you some pictures from the party. Here's some pictures from the party. There's some videos. This is some interesting pictures, right? Yep. I took a picture of her feet too. All good, right? Yo, there's some interesting pictures though. Yo, I mean like I just take pictures of whatever. But there's some interesting people come by. Really did. It's like I said, it was a birthday party. It was a birthday party for Verity. And you know, most of her friends showed up, her parents showed up, you know, classmates, and you know, all the whole nine came through to be supported. Somebody drove from North Carolina to be at this party. Yep. A group of artists said, "Yeah, we from North Carolina. This we drove up just to be at this party." I thought that was crazy, and then they got to perform. Like, who does that? You know what I'm saying? Unless you're a venue, you know, and then you got to get a bunch of people so you can get the thing paid. And all I asked for was $10. That's it. I asked for $10 for those who are going to show up, and it was only so we can just recoup, you know, whatever we're putting into dishes, food, any of the drinks. Like I said, we had psychedelics and things like that, so it really helps for us to, you know, to maintain those type of things. So, yeah, yeah, yeah. But it was so cool, man. I mean, I know everybody else took pictures too, so I have like, I mean, I have a handful of pictures. I have a bunch of videos that, like I said, I have to go back and I have to go back into, you know, just do clips and stuff like that on my. You said house parties are a lost art. That's what I was trying to tell people, man. Like DJ Silver, the one, like he does most of the promoting online, so it's healthy, right? So he saw that somebody else was trying to throw a house party too. So I was like, well, where did they get that idea from? Because I'm posting all the time that I'm throwing house parties. So on my Instagram, if you hear about it or you knew somebody about it, then somebody's like, oh, well, we can throw a house party too. Like, and I've been doing this since January. So, like, I already knew house parties existed because I've had house parties. So, what I want to continue to do is do that. I don't want to do venue stuff. Venue stuff is stupid. That's for people who are only bound to make money. I do want to make money, but I want also people to enjoy the experience, you know, just for a handful of people. We don't need 50 people and 100 people and 700. That's all for money. I'm trying to build something that feels good for, you know, a year or two. maybe 3 years. Maybe 3 years is long enough for people to be like, you know what, I had enough of those experiences. I want to do something different, and then they'll find something else different. But the house party at home it always starts at home. It really does. Every single time it starts at home. And damn, I want to use the airbrush so bad, but I don't feel like it today. I'm gonna see if I want to do something with this blank space here. All of the blank spaces need something, but oh yeah, this is Verity too. Hold on. This is Verity. So if you see her face, this was her birthday. Yeah. Yeah, she's cool as hell. She's a singer too. You can look her up, Verity Amor. Verity Amor. Maour. You can look up her on Instagram. At this point, she's professional. She's getting booked right now. So she's a book singer. Yeah. And I'm helping her create her album too. She looks really good on Saturday. Yeah. That's amazing stuff. Amazing. Yep. That shit was so fucking cool, man. It really was. It really just took a page out of. Yeah. Maybe I should add the darker green again. Yeah, what an experience, man. I don't know what else to put in here though. Seats. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah. I know I have the guest list though. Those who all showed up, they had to sign up on Partyful. And it was a very interesting group of people. Oh my gosh, they're so beautiful. People are so freaking beautiful, man. Like when they dress up, it's a whole nother character. It really is. Just a whole nother plethora of energy. Yeah. And Verity she got makeup and she got dirt on her white outfit. So she kept saying it like over and over, like, oh, there's paint, there's this, there's that, whatever. And I was like, ain't nobody paying attention to none of that. Because like she already looked good in her dress. So it was like, no, you're not anything other than like beauty at this point. And that's really all that had mattered. Because she saw something different. And I was like, ain't nobody paying attention to your clothes like that. And like even when she took pictures, because she had a photographer come in too, like even when she took pictures, I was like, ain't nobody see nothing else but beauty at that point, you know? Like it's okay that we say stuff out loud, but normally people are not really, and the one lady that I took a picture of her feet, I thought that was cool too, because somebody else had said something bad about her foot, and sometimes when men say stuff like that, it's really intriguing for them to see what your response is and see if, if you're attracted to people who make fun of you. Because sometimes females are attracted to it because they want to feel better about doing something, consistently. Maybe they're not doing a good enough job. So they'd be like, you know what, I'm going to do better because somebody else paid attention. But this chickie had zero shoes on the entire night. And I took a picture of it and everybody was like, yo, what the hell was that? And I thought it was funny, right? I thought it was funny because then nobody else said anything else about it. It wasn't like I was like clicking her feet so I can, take pictures of it and blah. I just thought it was a moment because somebody had brought it up. And I thought it was funny because I was taking pictures about everything. everything that I could think of or that I saw, in the moment, either video, you know, and that's what it was. I thought it was funny. Was I wrong? Hell no. How could I be wrong when I'm only thinking of the energy that they were giving? Because they was talking shit. Oh my gosh, they was talking so much shit against each other. But I was like, it's because they like each other. New forms see differences in each other. So the goal is to figure out, what they like and what they don't like. And just like I said, women like to be talked not down to, but being talked about. And the worst thing that could happen is somebody tell you to stop talking about it and then move on. But it wasn't even like that. It was more or less like they were just, they were like just engaging with each other, if that makes sense. Because they don't know anything about each other. So they were trying to figure out right then and then in that space, what can I talk about? You can't bring up, if you got kids, it was just the conversation wasn't worthy enough. But, like I said, everybody tried to figure out some way, somehow to engage with each other. And that's what they were doing for the best part, for the best part of the experience. And I'm going to put her feet on, I'm going to put her feet up there too. Yeah. But nobody's going to know who her feet is or what it is. But, like I said, it's just one of those clip moments. And yeah. And that's what we That's what we did. I'm telling you, I had so much fun. I did. I mean, I could speak for everybody else, but when they left, they were whole different people. They had to be. They really had to be different people at that point. Yep. I want to say that this red sign for the burgers needs to do something. I think there might be like another LED or something in here. Maybe at the top of this. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So I was on Instagram today. Let's just go back to Instagram's because I see just about everything on Instagram. I don't really see too much like celebrity gossip or something like that. But what I feel like is like there's a lot of information that's being spread out on the internet about all different types of things. Um, and so what happened is like I get up on Instagram because I mean that's pretty much my main source of information, and not because the world doesn't have other sources, but it's just how I choose to listen. Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, that's really how I've been listening. So I'm trying to develop another way, another form of creating. So for a long time, I've cooked, and when I cook, I also bake. My bad. Here, I'm gonna charge it. Charge this one. Sorry. I think I want to airbrush and then spray paint, and then that'll be it for this moment, I think. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I'm figuring out everything as I go, and such an interesting statement. But more or less, these things are meant for us to experience. So, like I said, I'm just trying to do my best, and whatever that means, because yeah, nobody really knows what they're doing. So we're all just playing the game as best as we can. Yeah. Just playing the game. I did though. God damn, I had a great time. Yo, I swear, I've been trying to do things that help people remember. Cause like when I was like, check this out. I was like, I pulled out this bag and I was like, what is that? I said, a bag of mushrooms. You said playing and building the game, playing and building the game at the same damn time. Exactly. Isn't that what we're supposed to do? I mean, we're all the creators. What else should we be doing? Watching other people create amazing experiences for you or for yourself. Like, which one is it going to be? Because that's how I thought it was. I was like, I was like, I looked at the bag and I was like, damn, there's a lot of mushrooms in there. Somebody was like, what is that? I was like, a bag of mushrooms. Oh, man. Oh, I'm so trippy. It was a good night, though. A very, 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 very adult good night. You know, like I said, I would love to do, these experiences in the next month too, because why not? Why not? Yeah. 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 Oh my gosh, the talks is crazy. I really wish I could play back some of those moments. I'm gonna have to record like our little tiny talks. We're gonna have to find a way to record those, because I mean I recorded some of it, but like I said, I wasn't busting out my phone. This ain't no live stream. It's not me vlogging or anything like that. It's just me capturing moments for, you know, for those who didn't come. Yeah, that's the best way that I can. This is the best way I can do it. It's just like I said, I'm not sure how everybody feel about the camera being stuck in their face. Like if somebody's recording me, I still find a lot of that is like intrusive, you know. But that's just me. Everybody else may not have an issue, but Like I said, it's yeah. Yep. 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 Like I said, there's a lot of blank space back here. I don't know what to do with it. There's a lot of lights. I just don't know because there's no people in this. No, there's no people here. This is called liminal space. Yeah. Potential energy. Everything is potential. Yeah. Yeah. It was a great night though. Ew. It was a great night. Was that a hole? Where did that come from? Somebody punched that? That wasn't there before. Oh, and all through this, I found a meteor too. Found a meteorite. Hold on, watch this. I found a meteor when I had to cut the grass. Look at this. Focus. Look at that. It's a meteor. I found that. Isn't that wild? I thought it was like some regular ass rock, but then I was like, nah, that's not it. Isn't that cool? Sheesh. I found it in my yard. I was like, nah, this don't belong here. I was like, all of the things that have been, because there's like, I have inside the house, there's nothing but grass. Nobody goes over there. I mean, barely even the cats, you know what I'm saying, walk over there. But I was cutting the lawn and I was like, I ran into something. I was like, what the heck? I didn't run into it hard, but I ran into it hard enough that it wouldn't let me move. I had a little push mower or whatever, and it wouldn't let me move it. So what is that? I was like, it's got to be a rock. And that's the first thing I thought. I was like, it's got to be a rock. And I was like, I looked at it. And I was like, wait, this ain't no rock. I was like, even the material, you got slag and stuff like that. It should have like little tiny, other rocks and stuff like that in there, but it didn't. I was like, what is this? And then there was grass or fauna that was attached to the rock as if it had got stuck. And I was like, if it got stuck, that means that the rock was hot at some point, right? And the grass got attached to it, stuck there ever since it was hot. So what does that mean? It turned from meteor to a meteorite when it hit the ground. It hit the house first, then hit the ground. I was like, no, this is definitely a meteorite. But so what I was told, like online and stuff, for some of these things, they may not be, it may not be a meteorite. And I'm okay with that. So I was told, it's like, well, just save it. Like, you don't have to sell it or anything like that. I'm not looking for a bunch of money or anything like that. But, everything, when you find things like that, it'll just show you're in the right place. And that's where I'm at. For how long? I don't know. Long enough to get what I say that I want out of this, this purpose. And yeah, and keep on going. Because I found a meteorite in my lawn. I wish I wouldn't have broke it as much as I did, before. But it just lets me believe that I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to. Let's make that darker. You know, all like I said, all of these are signs. They're all clear signs that I'm supposed to be here, and I'm really enjoying it. I really am. I really am. For how long? For a very long time. Yep. Yep. Found a meteorite. Yep. Yep. I found my purpose. That's supposed to be yellow, yellow too. Wash this off. Yeah, so the next thing I have to do is go on top of the roof and find out where the meteorite or meteor, or whatever you want to call it, wherever it hit, because I think it did damage to. So I have to get up on the ladder responsibly and find out. I think it says white in it too, and just find out where where it came from. Yep, where it hit, where it impacted. See if there's any damage or anything that I need to assess because I didn't. Um, I did not assess the damage that it did to the roof. And once again, it could have been my roof, or it could have been my neighbors. I'm not really sure, but it was loud. It was loud enough that day that it happened, loud enough for everybody to come out, like, is there something wrong? And the answer was, yeah, but what extent? I have no idea. So yeah, and nobody else went on their roofs. Nobody else thought of anything. It was just very loud, and like I said, it hit somebody's roof. Like a rock, rocks fall. Whatever. They make sounds, but this one, like even if somebody threw it, they had to throw it so high in the air first, right? So when it came down, it sounded like a bullet. It sounded like a bomb when it hit. And so that was the urgency for everybody to come outside and be like, all right, a rock hits, somebody could have been throwing rocks in the neighborhood. But that thing right there, no, that thing made a huge amount of noise that the police were called. And they were searching in the neighborhood to find out if anybody had been, using a bazooka or, yeah, the police wouldn't have been coming out. And I didn't call them. I didn't have a reason to call the police because I didn't think anything was, abnormal or so. Is this dark? This is dark. Oh, that's too dark. Why is this dark? Hmm. Yeah. So those are facts, and I found it on June. I found it June 5th, 2026. Yeah. I think I need white for that. Sure did. All good things. All great things, y'all. Um, I'm trying to see what else I can do before I go on this little lunch break. Um, I want to come back because I do have a lot of other things I want to focus on. I didn't even see it. Like I said, I haven't seen it since Friday. So you know, for me to come back and be like, oh yeah, I know exactly what to paint. I have no idea what I'm painting. I needed to add details, or there's a bunch of like where the paint just got tore off or something just does not look right on it. Because most of everything is in there. The only thing I don't have is like these colors to breathe correctly as a realistic tone in some of the places. Because like I said, I just added layers, blocked in the color. There's some types of shades, but not much going on inside the building because there's no people. So it's just supposed to be a place, but I'm not sure what else to put in here. There's like tons of lights. There's like all types of lights in here. Then you have your gradient from green and yellow. Then you have your orange and your red at the top. Then you have your blue, white, and red at the very top. And yeah, that's the basis of this. You know, I could darken some of the lighter parts. Yeah, I could. Yeah, I really could. I don't want it to feel like it still could be worked on for another 6 weeks. You know what I'm saying? That part is, yeah, that part just is too much for me. And I have until Friday to finish what I say I want to finish, and that's it. That's really it. No complaining, no rushing. Just if it's done, it's done, and I'm happy about that. Because look where I got. This was a whole blank screen, just ready for me to paint, and this is how far I've gotten for it. This is what I got for it. Yeah. Yep. This is my best. I think this one's supposed to be great too. Yep. This is my best. Yo, that was so good though. Man, we had that so freaking tight. It was ridiculous. I was like, is this real? Like, we really doing this? Yup, we're really doing this. People started showing up. I'm like, man, we're about to party all over again. Sheesh. That's what we did. All right, y'all. I think I'm done with these little touch-ups. That's what I really wanted to do is come in and figure out what else I need to do. I think I'm gonna airbrush when I come back. I'm gonna make sure that these lines, this orange, whatever this is, it's good light, but it just looks wonky. So I'm gonna figure that out. And yeah, let me just add some more details. Something about this front here has been bothering me, but I don't know what to do with it because I had the front, and that means I have to redo the front again because I don't think it's right. And that's just my applesauce. I don't think it's right. Yeah. I think it's supposed to be way more brown too. It's like brown and yellow.
brown and yellow. Nope, it's still not. Or is it red? Brown and some other color. But there was pipes here, and for whatever reason, my brain just cannot function with all those pipes. So yeah, I think this is supposed to be yellow, or this is supposed to be brown, but I don't know. I mean, I know, but like I said, there was tons of pipes in here, which didn't make me feel like, yeah. I think this might have to be yellow. I think this whole part should be yellow. We'll do that. We'll make that yellow. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. This, because from this angle, hoping that I get that. Yeah, hopefully I can get that. Perfect. I had a whole bag of mushrooms in my pocket. Oh my gosh, that should be a story in its own. But I'm telling you, that's like the only way people can remember things. Like they can't remember everything, but bits and pieces. Like if you have energy and people are not used to the energy, they're like, can I figure that out? Can I use that? Is there a purpose in me knowing that? And you know what? The freaking sideways, the mirrors are missing. That's what that is. All of the mirrors are missing. Ooh, I got some pictures. God dang, bro. Hold on, hold on, hold on. So there aren't any mirrors in this picture. There's a mirror here. Um, I'm just gonna freehand a mirror. That's all. Something that would. Something that would just reference it. Um, might be a little gray and white too, or just be a little darker. Let's see if I use this gray one. Oh, shit. That smells crazy too. It looks like a little tiny mirror, doesn't it? All right. I'm thinking it's supposed to be higher up, like this one's supposed to be as high as this. Like I said, I'm just freehanding. Mirrors are mirrors. Like if I had to be perfect with it, but I don't really have to be perfect with it. I just need to make it look apart. Apart. So like we got company. Maybe, maybe not. Thought I heard somebody. Yep. And it's a weird mirror too, but it's cool. It's there. Maybe the yellow one needs a little bit, a little higher. Let's close this because that shit stinks. My microphone? Yeah, my microphone's on. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. All right. Just keep hearing sounds. Ah. I'm gonna add a brown to this. Mirrors. Okay, I'm cool. All right, y'all. I think that's it for us for this session. I think this is 22, but if it's 23, I'm cool with that too. Part 23. Let's see if we can come back to part 24. I said I needed to spray something up there too before I left. But I don't think I need to. I think that brown should be on the inside too. See that. But yeah, y'all, I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for listening to my crazy stories, my house party stories. Thank you guys for watching this experience that I'm offering. Yeah, yeah. Let's go. I think I need this one to be just a little bit bigger. You said looking good, Rain. Let's go. Appreciate that, Omizu. Appreciate that, and we'll try to come back because I said I got an airbrush, and that'll be the last part we'll do for today's experience. And then, yeah. Until next time, y'all. I'll see y'all in the next one. Let's go. Thank you, Omizu. Thanks for joining today. Thank you, Alden. Thank you, Mackin. Oh, Mackie. Wait, what? Mackie. Is that Marie? But thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. And this window is weird too. I'm gonna just figure out what I'm gonna do with that. But thank you so much. Maybe I'll put a bulletin or something, some paper that says what's going on over here in the neighborhood or something. Maybe I'll put some white paper, like a bulletin board. All right, y'all. We'll see you in the next one.